Pakal, a Mayan king who ruled around 615 AD in the state of Palenque, had been given a Nile Valley burial, sarcophagus with hieroglyphics carved atop, burial mass of jade, a step pyramid, also a burial necklace or a wasket, also made of jade. In the Nile Valley, gold was the most precious of minerals because it gave one the image of Ra, the sun. In the Americas, it was jade. If you look close at this burial mass of Tutankhamun, one of his burial necklaces, or a wasket, is carved directly into the mass. Here is the temple of inscriptions, the step pyramid where Pakal was buried. Me and my wife went on a fact-finding mission in 2006 to do comparative studies research between the pyramids of the Nile Valley and the pyramids of the so-called Americas. The similarities were amazing. Here is Pakal's sarcophagus with hieroglyphics carved atop. This is hardcore evidence that the Nile Valley priesthood had taken its teachings to the four corners of the planet Earth. And it was to the priests of the Nile Valley who came as the Wasetians, known as the Olmecs, the mother culture of the so-called Americas. And it's that these priests that should be attributed with the knowledge of the pyramids, writings, even the calendar. In The Stolen Legacy by Grand Master Teacher George G.M. James, he speaks about the advanced knowledge that these priests were trained in. Reading from page 176 of The Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James, it reads, "The ruins of the ancient Grand Lodge of Luxor are found today on the banks of the Nile in Upper Egypt in the ancient city of Waset. It was built by Pharaoh Amenhotep III. It was the only Grand Lodge of the ancient world." I'll read it again. It was the only Grand Lodge of the ancient world. It had branches or minor lodges throughout the ancient world in Europe, Asia, Africa, North America, South America, and probably in Australia. These are some of the places: Palestine at Mount Carmel, Syria at Mount Hermon in Lebanon, Babylon, Media near the Red Sea, India on the banks of the Ganges, Burma, Athens, Rome, Croton, Rhodes, Delphi, Maltus, Cyprus, Corinth, Crete, Central and South America, especially the Peru, among the American Indians and among the Mayans, Aztecs, and Incas of Mexico. Feather was worn by the first people of the planet Earth, the Twa, which Europeans derogatorily call pygmies. The Twa were the first people on the planet that migrated up out of Africa into other parts of the planet Earth. The lion was sacred to Bes, and the tongue hanging out is symbolic of the roar of the lion, to speak words of power. This is Bes, the Nile Valley deity in India, as Kali. Notice the eye in the center of the forehead, representing the black melanin spiritual doorway that was brought up out of the Nile Valley and taken all over the planet Earth. Here is a representation of Bes in Greece. Also, look at the black dot in the center of the forehead, along with the tongue sticking out. The presence of Bes was felt all around the planet Earth. So when you look into the center of the Olmec calendar, you see God is best, the Twa, who charted the stars over 250,000 years ago in the Siberian period of the Nile Valley. Signs and Symbols of Primordial Man by Albert Churchward, and Egypt, Light of the World by Gerald Massey, The Black Man of the Nile by Dr. Yosef Ben Yachanan are three excellent books that gives great details to that fact. Even the totem pole, where one places their deity or god on top of a staff. Notice here, the eagle atop of this totem pole. When you come into the Nile Valley at 3200 BCE, the practice is already ancient. As you see here with Narmer, the very first Suten or pharaoh of Kemet. The Twa represented in Best are carrying the totem poles. The first two have Heru, the falcon, up top. Here again is an Egyptian Kemetic priest carrying a totem staff or pole with Heru, the falcon god, atop. And here again is a so-called American totem with the eagle atop. Is this a coincidence? I think not. Ask yourself, why do teepees form a true pyramid? Because of the worship of the Nile Valley priests who brought with them the sciences and mysteries of Saqqara, the Giza Plateau, the Nubian mysteries of Napata, Kerma, and Nuri. Imhotep, around 2700 BCE, became the first architect to build a structure of any kind above ground made out of cut stone blocks, making Imhotep the first grand master of masonry on the planet Earth. Many people think that the Giza Plateau was the first pyramid field to be aligned with Orion's belt, which is not correct. The pyramid field of Saqqara, the first Grand Lodge of Kemet, was also aligned with Orion's belt, which means the astronomical and mathematical calculations had been done thousands of years before Imhotep. Having visited both the pyramids of Africa and the Americas, I can say with my eye as my foundation that the pyramids of Africa, Kemet and Nubia, are hundreds of thousands of years beyond the pyramids of the Americas. The pyramid of Khufu dwarfs the pyramid of Teotihuacan. The great pyramids of Giza were built over 2,500 years before the first of the Mexican pyramids were built, and they are still in pretty good condition over 4,500 years later.